Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and today we're doing Vloguary day 6. I think it's day 6. One day seems to roll into another at the beginning of the year. Again, I have done pretty much nothing, must admit. Had a very leisurely day, didn't sleep very well. If anybody else suffers with insomnia, oh my god. I am up till 4 and 5 a.m. If you are sleep deprived like me, how do you cope? How do you deal with insomnia? I've been struggling for must be 18 months, and I sleep 3-4 hours a day at a push, sometimes less. And I feel that my body is just so overtired now that it's apparently sentient and now can live with virtually no sleep at all, or it seems to. It seems to function on nothing. I can sleep for like 4 hours and still be incredibly tired, but somehow still manage to get around and manage to do stuff. I don't know how it does it. My body must be its own thing. I don't know. I've done really little today. I haven't done any vintage stuff. I haven't filmed anything. I've done nothing really. But to me, that feels kind of productive. The fact I haven't done anything is productive to me because I've spent the last few months being so overproductive. I think sometimes you just need an unproductive day to feel productive. I know it's counterintuitive to be like, well, I've done nothing, but I've been productive. But I feel like I've been productive because I have done nothing. And in doing nothing, I actually feel like I've achieved something, and that is having a day of rest, taking a day off, having a rest day, which I wouldn't normally do. I started reworking again on Vinted on Boxing Day. I literally gave myself like a day off, and then I was like back into it. I was like, gotta make that dough. Can't just sit here. So then I worked like Christmas, I worked New Year, and just kept listing stuff. And then I'm kind of like, this is now productive for me today that I've actually took a day off, because to me that feels productive. Getting a day of rest, getting a day of R&R, trying to get a bit more sleep. Didn't succeed, but we tried. Um, so that to me is productive in the way of being productively looking after myself, which I don't really do very often. I must admit, I don't do that often, if at all. So although it feels like I've done nothing, I've been productive in looking after myself, which is something that I don't do. So that to me is productive. It's counterintuitive. I know it's like, you know, saying I've sat here all day and I've achieved something. I really haven't, but in my eyes, I've actually achieved something by not doing something, because that is totally out of character. Doesn't usually happen. And I think you need those off days to be like, this was productive in the fact that if I take one day off, the rest of the week I'll be like fully motivated, fully awake, fully ready to knock it out. If I kept going and going and going and going, productivity would slow, I wouldn't feel as motivated, and then I would start to dwindle. And then instead of just taking one day off, I might take a week off. So I think having a day off, although it sounds unproductive, it is, because you give yourself a bit of time. You give yourself a bit of rest, a little bit of R&R, have a bath, have a walk, do stuff you wouldn't normally do if you were doing something like Vinted, listing all hours of the day and constant like doing stuff. You can say that you've been productive in the way of looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, maybe eating 3 meals that day where you really wouldn't have, going for that walk you wouldn't have, just a bit of you time. I think we all forget about you time. We're so wrapped up in doing stuff that getting a bit an R&R and taking a day off, although it sounds a bit like, oh, you didn't do anything today, you weren't very productive. You kind of have. You looked after yourself. You've done some things you needed to get done for yourself, not necessarily for other people, which is what most of your time is filled with, pleasing other people, doing things for other people, and you always neglect your own self. Um, I am actually dressed for Halloween, just in case anyone wonders. I'm actually sort of Halloween New Year. I only came here for the booze. It's kind of Halloween, kind of New Year. I don't know. I was in two minds this morning when I got dressed. I was trying to work out what season to be in. Halloween, Christmas, New Year. Maybe just jump straight to Easter like most of the places around the shops have seemed to have done. It's either Valentine's or Easter now, or even Mother's Day because that's in March. Um, but yeah, let me know how your sleep patterns are. Do you feel productive if you take a day off? Are you like me, where if I take a day off, I actually do feel productive because I'm actually achieving something for myself, taking a bit of time for myself and working on myself, which usually is lacking if I'm consistently being productive elsewhere. But yeah, let me know any sleep remedies for insomnia. I don't want to take drugs or anything like that. I want to try and do it naturally as much as possible. Um, Also, let me know whether you feel productive when you take a day off. Do you feel you've actually achieved by not working for a day? Obviously, I do Vinted from my house. I don't actually have a full time job, so this is my side gig to YouTube at the minute. But let me know how you feel about taking a day off and calling it productive. Let me know how you cope with insomnia. Let me know how your year's been so far. We are nearly in a week into the new year. Tomorrow is a week into the new year. Let me know how you've been. Give it a big thumbs up. If you want to support the channel and help fund Raven's productive day off, you can donate to PayPal, Super Chat, or Super Thanks. Super Chat would be preferred, but you can donate however you wish. If you want to know anything else, comment down below, ask any questions, and I'll see you tomorrow for day number 7 of the Vloguary. Bye, guys.